In today's video I want to give you a review about the Pentax K1000. I have bought this as my first analog film camera. The Pentax K1000 is built between 1976 and 1997. On the internet there is plenty of copies to find, and some of them are in a mint condition. There were more than 3 million pieces sold. The Pentax K1000 is an SLR camera. That means that what you will see through the viewfinder will be the composition you get. The camera is full mechanical and you have to set all the settings manual. The camera has a light meter built in to help you with your exposure. And for me, as a beginner film photographer, that comes in really handy. The build quality of the camera is really sturdy. The Pentax K1000 uses the K mount, and the copy that I have bought has a 50mm f2 lens on it. Adjusting the settings is really easy on this camera. We have a shutter speed dial to set our shutter speed, and if you lift the shutter dial you can set your ISO of the film stock that you are using. On the right we have the exposure counter. This represents the amount of shots you have made on the film roll. And we have a lever that winds the roll for the next exposure. On the lens we find a focus ring and aperture ring. This camera is easy to operate for beginners and I really recommend it to beginners wanting to start with film photography. So as I was starting my search for an analog film camera, I saw the Pentax K1000 and I read some awesome reviews about that camera, and that's the reason why I also bought my own copy of the K1000. And I have to say I am really happy with this camera. I think for a beginner film photographer this is a really handy camera because of the light metering. The light metering shows in your viewfinder and there is a plus and a minus, and in between there your exposure is okay. One tip I have for beginner photographers, just overexpose a little bit, because overexposure is giving up more pleasant image than an underexposed image, because the shadows are really dark and there are not much detail in the shadows if you underexpose or correctly expose. So that's why I advise to overexpose a little bit. Using the Pentax K1000 is really easy. I have just shot my second roll and I want to show you some images that I've created with the Pentax K1000, including with the 50mm f2 lens. And I really enjoyed using the Pentax K1000 and I'm going to use it in the future as my 35mm film camera. So that was it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.